Cullen live in 1 minute. Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com. Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com.
Hey there, hi there, and hello there. It's the 2nd of July. And this is the last day we're going to be here this week because July 3rd, whether you knew it or not, is a workers' holiday if July 4th falls on a Saturday. Hey! Labor is strong. Okay, this is going to be a weird show. I'm letting you know right off the bat because, as you know, I usually have a bunch of papers and stuff in front of me. I got one piece of paper, and it's an obituary, and frankly, so this is going to be interesting. First, we'll start with a little personal data. Don't get dressed in the dark. Okay? Because I did today. And I swore that this little tank I'm wearing was gray to match my gray skirt. It is not gray. I didn't know it till I was walking down Smithfield in the light. And I looked down and I thought, geez, it's khaki. Is that what it is? Taupe? Olive? Oh, I don't even know what it's olive.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's more like, it's like, so I'm just hopelessly mismatched. I was trying to pull things out of my closet that weighed next to nothing, like this gauzy thing and this gauzy skirt I'm wearing, because I have to leave here after the show and go to a doctor's office, and they always weigh you. And it's always a traumatic thing for me. So I'm trying not to wear anything that would even add 6 ounces. I think my clothes don't weigh more than, what would you say, 2 pounds at the most. Yeah, so that's why. And anyway, it begot this color difficulty and whatever. Then I had a little run-in with the newfangled parking meters. I cannot tell you how much I hate those things. I really do. I hate them. They're ridiculous. I know it. I know the drill, like, but you see people, if God forbid, there should be one person in front of you with a look on their face like, because you could be standing there for 10 minutes waiting to plug the meter because there's only one. And in fact, there used to be 2 on this big long block, but now one is gone because they dug it up. They dug up the entire sidewalk. So there's only that meter. Anyway, that's not what happened to me today. I was running late in my mismatched clothes, and I pulled into the space, and I raced to the meter, and in my rush to do, you know, because I can do it fast. If you're in a hurry, you want to be behind me at the little meter place. But I was too fast today because in my haste, how do you explain this? I signaled, I pressed the wrong button telling him That's it. I put in the amount of money I want. And then they said, checking validity of card. And I tried to abort, because I only had 6 minutes that I paid for. Abort! Nah. That big red button with an X in it, it does nothing. So I was told happily, you've been approved. Your card is valid. I knew my card was valid. And now the way these meters work is any effort I would make to go back and add time would be stymied because they'd say that they won't let you until it's run out. So I had to run up here, and I have 2 minutes left on the meter. So this is a very expensive show for me, I got to tell you. It's going to be a ticket. Okay, that's it. Here's the other thing. Remember yesterday when we were talking about dishwashers? And I did say that I was going to do a test. I did. I went home yesterday directly after the show. I made myself a little bit of a lunch. I put the plate unrinsed into the dishwasher, and I didn't press normal wash because I thought the other part of it was that normal wash, which takes forever, is not necessary unless you've really got some. So I just did, it's called a 1 hour, I think, wash. I couldn't wait. And when it was done, I went in and I took out the plate. It was not clean. It was not clean. There was a glob of stuff that had been you wouldn't have known it was food. It had been mush and blah, but it was a... So I'm sticking to my thing. You got to wash them before you put them in. You got to rinse them before you put them in. I don't care. I had a total fail. So take that Cascade, take that Finish, take that Whirlpool, and all you other... No, it doesn't work. And I don't know if any of you got... And I fully expected to get a bunch of emails on that, not an email. Maybe it's the kind of thing you have to have been listening to want to jump in on. Okay. Can I rant about the media now? Are you aware that we are under threat? We're under an orange. I thought they got rid of those colors. I thought they did. We're under an orange level alert because, July 4th coming up, and because I guess we've been hearing little things, and because heads have been literally taken from bodies in other countries, and we got enemies, and blah, 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 blah. So, I wake up this morning, and I do check out CNN to see if anything's happening. CNN is on one, they're doing what they do. They're on one story. And guess what? It is a total non-story. Someone called 911 in Washington, D.C. and said that they heard a shot fired on a certain floor at the Naval Shipyard. Is that where, whatever that thing was, where there was a massacre a few years ago. This is in D.C. It's about a mile from the Capitol building. Well, I'm not sure when the 911 call came in, but so I looked up at the TV, and there was every police car in America was on. It was lights flashing, yellow tape, cops standing around. They said the FBI, the ATF, the PD, the this and that, the Homeland Security, everybody was on that scene. CNN breathless. They could not pull away for 1 minute. They did report that police initially gone through the area and couldn't find anything. But that did not stop the sort of breathless reportage. It was ludicrous. And then one of their experts said it. He said, well, I'm looking at that scene that we're showing. We just have the one shot, but there's that scene there of all those police cars willy-nilly, everything. He said, and I can tell you just from looking at that is not a smart response. That is not a coordinated response. That is like, blah! Something like that. Well, the CNN anchor stiffened and quickly moved on to somebody else. And then a reporter came on and took issue with what that guy had said. And then somebody else came on and took issue. And then it took a while, but someone else finally said, this looks like an overreaction to me. And I thought, yes, an overreaction on whose part? An overreaction on the part of the cops, but more than that, an overreaction on the part of CNN. The more they covered the story, the more it was clear nothing was happening. Did that pull them off the story to tell us something else of import? No. The breathless, they kept talking about, yes, and because it's July 4th, and because it's so close to the Capitol. And then they brought in senators, and senators were, this is very serious, and blah, blah, blah. We are under threat. Do you know what? I am so sick of it. You wonder why Americans are scared all the time? It was stupid. So here's what I thought as I watched and saw this unbelievable response to a 911 call, which hours later proved, as far as I could tell, nothing was amiss. Everybody is still sheltering in place. The place is still all blocked off. People in Washington, D.C. are walking. I mean, they're like, crawling on their elbows and knees from place to place. They are under serious threat. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at that CNN shot of all the cop cars and the breathless reportage, and I'm thinking, wow, if I were a terrorist, I would find this very interesting. I think that if it was terror-related, a smart move by a terrorist would be what? Now we know. You phone in. All you do is pick up the phone, call 911, and report you heard shots at some major Washington facility. Every friggin' cop, ATF, FBI, CIA, Washington PD, blah, 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 the Fed, everything will immediately congregate in that place. Wouldn't that be a smart way to pull something off someplace else? The cops couldn't, they're all there. Let's do something right over here. So in the course of all this breathless reportage, I had that thought. Do you think that's like an original thought? No. I'm not an expert in this kind of thing, but that looked stupid. And CNN just trying desperately to make it something that you couldn't leave the room. You had to keep, and it was tough. It was tough. They had only one shot of all the cop cars tangled up, and the reports kept saying, we haven't found anything, and everything seems fine here. I'm sick of it. It doesn't serve us well. And it scares me. If this kind of readiness is supposed to make me feel secure, it doesn't. Not a bit. Which brings me to the next thing. My son pointed it out the other day. I have noted it, but I haven't ever said anything about it. He said something about it, and then today on the way here, we saw, he's working downtown right now, he saw the thing again, and I said, I want to remember that because I got to bring this up. The buses. The buses in this city, this is actually part of the city. The Port Authority buses, they can run, they can have a slogan or something in the front. Often it says things like, "Go Bucks," or, "Go Steelers." But you know what it says a lot? Remember 9/11. I want to take issue with that, too. Guys, that was what, 16 years ago? No, 14, 2001. It was 14 years ago. God, that's easy math, Celine. I'm not screaming at you, but I mean... Blah, 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 blah. Guys, no one has to tell us to remember 9/11. Anyone, that's one of those things, like where were you in JFK? 9/11. It was a traumatic, horrific event, and it has changed us. Yes. I don't need my buses saying remember 9/11. It's jingoistic. It's manipulative, and it underscores the constant message that we are getting from government and media that we're supposed to be afraid. Do you think, what'd they do in England, in London, during the Blitz? Did those cute little double-decker buses, did they put little banners up saying what? Remember last night? People don't need to be told that. And I've already ranted about it at the baseball park. It's beneath a great and powerful country. It is, though, part of, if you want to create a nation of frightened sheep, it would be part of the way you would do it. And I'm sick of it. I mean, during World War II, did we keep saying remember Pearl Harbor? Who had to remember Pearl Harbor? Why? Why? So we would be constantly in a state of vengefulness and rage and fear? They don't say remember 9/11 to honor the innocent people who were lost that day. That's not what it's about. That is not what it's about. I really think the new American motto should not be e pluribus unum, which clearly isn't true anymore, but should be just 3 little words. Suck it up. We're embarrassing. All right, we got some emails in. It's stories like this in Washington, D.C. on CNN that truly make people on video, social media chant, fuck CNN. Well, yeah, but it's bigger than that. Because government aids and abets this, government in the form of a Port Authority in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, and government, all the government people that they had on CNN that they were breathlessly interviewing were very upset about somebody suggesting that it was a overreaction or didn't look like it was well coordinated or blah, blah, blah. It's just, I'm so sick of the posturing. I'm so sick of the, is it metrics? No, it's the, I'm so sick of it. I'll think of what it is I'm trying to think of. Okay. Paul says, couldn't someone run down and add more time for you? You know what? By the time it only could be Celine, I'd have to explain to her where my car is. Then I'd have to tell her what my is. And I just gonna, you know what? What is it gonna be? $30? 25? No, it's not 25.
Really?
Oh no.
I don't drive downtown.
It's probably 150. Well, I don't know. It keeps going up. It's probably, you know what? I'm going to be destitute by the end of the show. Okay. Oh, God. I don't think I can keep this level of rage and indignation up. I'm exhausting myself. Uh-oh. We're only a third of the way through. Oh! I hope Ray's listening because he would know. Ray! Or anybody else. So I'm watching this is just a question I have. I'm watching the Pirate game last night. We killed them. We were in Detroit. And the ballpark there differs from the ballpark here and differs from any of the ballparks I can think of that I see in that, and I've seen this in older parks, but in that there's a baseline. I mean, it looks like a baseline, but from the pitcher's mound to home plate. So not just the normal first base, second base, third base, home, but also there's to the pitcher's mound. A nice little path. It looked odd. Is there what I asked my guest who was there. Name another park that has that does that, 'cause I can't think of one. Help me here. Why do they have that? And then I couldn't even figure out how to Google it because I didn't know what to call whatever that was. I mean, why would there be a little path from the pitcher's mound to home plate? It don't make no sense. Although I think in pictures of older stadia, I have seen that. But then I'm thinking Wrigley Field. They don't have it. I don't think Fenway has it. I don't even know what Detroit used to be. Tiger Stadium. It sure as hell isn't now. It's some corporate park. So I don't know. But if anybody can help me on that, I always think you guys are the ones who know. Celine, are you looking? Maybe you'll find something too. Okay. So, on the way here today, I want to tell you, I read all the papers. There is nothing I want to talk about. The Grease thing is unbelievable, and I don't understand. Do you see that? Weird. She's got a picture of the Detroit park. But I just don't, I don't know what you would call that. I mean, is it so the catcher, when he goes out to talk to the pitcher on occasion, doesn't trample the grass? What the hell is it? Just a little question. Oh, and I didn't say anything yesterday, and I was remiss in that I am not a soccer fan. I am the farthest thing from a soccer fan. But somebody clued me into what the American women were up to. And so I did watch this semifinal game. World Cup for women in the other night. And whoa, I just want to say, yes, wow, they be tough. Incredible. And Ray has written. And Ray has written and said, it's called a keyhole. Old style parks had it. Doesn't mean anything. Arizona has one too. Okay, so there's one other park. Why do they do it? And what's weird is Arizona is that's not an old park. And then Detroit built a new park, right? So this is a new... Why do they do that? It bothers me. What?
I might have an answer.
Oh, Celine may have an answer. But it's called a keyhole, says Ray. And there is one other park, Arizona. Okay, so what do you got there? Can you...
From Peter Morrison's essential book, A Game of...
Hey, you.
Yes.
You got to do a little
I
of
gotta
this.
turn around. Okay. This is quoted from a book about baseball.
Book about baseball.
Origins of the path are somewhat obscure, but researcher Tom Schreiber has unearthed what is almost certainly the explanation. He noted that early baseball clubs often played on cricket grounds, where the two wickets were connected by a dirt path to ensure more reliable bounces. He speculates that early baseball clubs found that the path led to fewer passed balls and made it customary. He cites a description that appeared in the New York Clipper in July of 1860.
Okay. So
Possibly
the
leftover from
origin might be that early baseball was played on cricket fields. And they had a little thingamajiggy there. Well, it's stupid, and I want it out. I found it very distracting. What's with Detroit and Arizona? Okay, well, thank you for that. Let's see what else I can... I mean, man, this is a grab bag of effluvia. What's effluvia in Lynn Cullen's head? Oh, I was listening to a talk radio show on the way to work today. Local. And the host used a word that I don't think he knew what it meant. Because it made no sense. He was trashing Donald Trump, and then he said, I find him a magnanimous... No, I forget now. Magnanimous? I thought, huh? There was something, it just didn't fit at all. But what was interesting is he was asking his callers why they loved why Donald Trump was in second place. And given the fact that the guy is a clown. Wait, we got somebody else on this baseball thing. Yeah, well, but yeah. Chase Field, Phoenix, home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah, that's the other one. So there's two. Okay, but still. Totally unnecessary, and you would think Major League Baseball would want all parks, even though they differ somewhat in the configuration of how far it is to left field, right field, and this and that. You would think they would want parks to look the same, to have, there'd be a basic, here's what a baseball park looks like. And it doesn't have that stupid thing. I'm just saying. Okay, so back to Donald Trump. So he was asking his audience if they liked Trump and they thought he could be the president of the United States, why they would vote for Donald Trump. And it was amazing to hear these people. Oh, my God in heaven. First of all, they think because he's rich that means he's smart. They think because he can run a business, excuse me, I believe he's run more businesses into the ground than... They think that his belligerence is strength. Is that my phone? I hate it! Be quiet. They think... Oh, that's cool. I can say... What? I don't have a clue what any of that meant. So now... I looked at my phone and it had like 500 things. All you gotta do is touch this and you can reply immediately in message form to the people saying, never mind, I'm busy, or I'm eating breakfast, or what was all that? I'm in the, that didn't say it. I'm in the middle of my fucking show, you idiots. If you got my number, you must have some sense that I do the show. It was my son. No, it wasn't. Okay, never mind. Oh, God! Instant communication. You know, if they'd had this when I was young and growing up, I wouldn't be who I am today. I would not. Because it keeps us all so tethered. And I was anything but tethered. I was free floating to, a little more than I should have been, but I was tethered would have created an entirely different reality. And did you see where a robot killed some worker in England? Did you see that? Just saying. In a plant. Where the robot was there working with a few people that still were in there. And I don't know if the robot, went haywire and attacked the guy, but worker was killed by a robot. Okay, Laura's writing in from near Detroit, and she says the old Tiger Stadium did not have this thing. But the new one, here's the name of the park. Comerica? What rapacious bunch of capitalists is that? Comerica? Oh, Comerica. Corporate America. Comerica Park does. No idea why, but I liked yours so the catcher doesn't mess up the grass. Which, by the way, does look nice in the photo. So there you have it. Remember when you used to be able to name stadia? I defy anyone, even a baseball fan, to tell me what the name of the parks are now. And by the way, what happens with Heinz Field? Because I was reading the business section, Heinz is not really going to exist anymore. It is going to be an entity called Kraft Heinz. So how does Heinz Field stay Heinz Field? And I just want to say, let's instead name the parks, baseball and football, that have not succumbed to this corporate branding of their field. Okay? Let's do it. What's funny is like Wrigley Field, which goes back forever. We can't add them. Okay, so Wrigley Field. Okay, Fenway, right? Do they still? Is there such a thing as Yankee Stadium anymore? I don't think so. Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, named after Curly Lambeau. Okay. Help me here.
Sports or not?
Well, I know sports isn't your thing, but I'm just trying to. I'm okay. Let's just go up the West Coast. I don't know. I mean, they're few, the ones that haven't succumbed. So I've only got two: one football, one baseball. But there's got to be more. But they would be in the minority. Fenway and Lambeau's all I got. You guys look it up and let me know. Keep trying to say something about Donald Trump. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The fact that people respond to him, they like his belligerence, mistake it for strength. They like that he's rich, mistake it for intelligence. I think Donald Trump, and it's not pretty, But if America has the grit to look Donald Trump in the face, we are looking at, in him, America's id. And you see how many people in America that's like reptilian brain, your id. It's just reaction and primitive. And you see all the people who can vote, who respond to this personification of America's worst instincts. And they think he's make a great president. And he can say things like, I will bomb every oil rig in Iran. Yes, they say, yeah. Who are these fools? Who are these nincompoops?
She heard the thing he said about immigrants.
What? Is that the thing he said about immigrants? And man, is that costing Donald Trump, the smart businessman. Man, is there a corporation that has not dropped him like a hot potato? Wow. And what he does, and the other thing they like about him, is he doesn't apologize. So when he says something that stupid about, oh yeah, all those people coming across the southern border, they're rapists, murderers. And he said, I guess maybe a few of them might be okay. Didn't he say something like, there was some offhand remark, like maybe one or two might not be a rapist or a murderer? Jesus. Okay. We got Pittsburgh girl. Dodger Stadium. That still exists? Beth says Dodger Stadium still exists. Really? Okay. That's 3. That's sad. That is really sad. Wow. So what, speaking of color, I didn't know what color this was. What color is Donald Trump's hair? I'm serious. What is that? And why would a man with that much money not have access to the best hair colorist in the universe and maybe even hair, stylist? What? That's like, it's somewhat akin, it's a little more subdued than what you see on some old women who do that red thing. But it's, what color is that? Does he think it's blonde? Ugh. And if you think his hair is disgusting, it's his mouth that drives me crazy. It's his, it's his, ugh. God. Okay, see, you can see I have nothing to say. Fenway, Lambeau, and Dodger? That's it? Really? Seriously, guys? Come on. And the thing is, with corporations, doing what Heinz Kraft thing, these things are going to be changing every 2 minutes. I think it's pathetic. When you listen to like a pirate game on Root Sports, let's say, you watch it on TV, or I'm sure on the radio, everything is named now. Or you listen to the big blowhard station. Everything is named. And now we go for the weather report. The weather report is always the so-and-so weather report, the day automotive weather report, everything that the microphones are sold. There's branding on absolutely everything. We have a call. How'd that? Hello.
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 Lynn.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Paul.
Paul. Hi.
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Do you have an iPhone with Siri?
Yes, but I don't engage in any. No, I have no relationship with her.
Well, there's a thing on the internet about if you ask Siri what happens when you divide 0 by 0. Have you heard about that?
No, what does she say?
Listen to this. This is what she says.
Well, can I do it? I'll do it.
Okay.
Although she never understands a word I say.
All right.
But we'll see. Okay, so Siri, what can I help you with? Hang on, Siri. It is I who am here to help you, she says. Okay, so Siri, what do you get when you divide 0 by 0?
Mm-hmm.
And then do I touch something here? Wait a minute. Women? A woman? Is that the answer?
No.
That's what she told me! A woman! A woman is a female human! The term woman is usually reserved for an adult. However, it's not used to identify... What?!
That is weird. Well, this is what she says that everybody's getting. They even did it on one of the daytime talk shows like CBS or something.
Okay.
She says, imagine that you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, it doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies, and you are sad that you have no friends.
What?
Isn't that bizarre?
Oh, dear God in heaven.
Yeah, if you ask her what is 0, try what is 0 divided by 0.
Okay. Isn't that what I said, though? Come on. Where are you? She knows we're making fun of her and she won't even show up. Hey. Okay. Siri, what is 0 divide... I know. Sorry, Lynn, I didn't get that. Here, I'll try again. What is 0 divided by 0? Unbelievable. She's thinking. She didn't get it, she said.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. No. Oh, she came up with an answer. Oh, no. Oh, no, she came up with an answer. Oh, no. Why is she just telling me what I just said? I don't know how to work this, obviously. Ah! I hate this kind of thing. I hate it.
Isn't that a bizarre
I don't,
response?
yeah. Well.
Who designed that to make that answer?
I don't know, but how come I got what happens when you divide 0 by 0 and they said you get a woman?
Well, you get Siri, right?
Oh, God! Okay. Oh, dear. Welcome to the new world.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew that would freak you out a little bit.
Oh, dear. Thank you.
All right, Lynn. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. We got lots of people here. Robert says, Lynn, okay, ballparks without corporate names. There's also the Beltway stadiums that haven't succumbed to corporations. Oh, like the Redskins. Washington and the Washington Nationals? Really? And Baltimore does not, really? I don't know. Oriole Park in Baltimore. Yeah. Nationals Park in Washington. Oh, yeah, also Soldiers Field in Chicago. That's right. Okay, that's good. Well, is that it then? That's good. Oriole Park, Atlanta Turner Field. And okay, Atlanta. Turner Field? Okay. He's no Curly Lambeau. Okay. Unlike the NFL, NBA, and NHL, the baseball purists and stats geeks love the uniqueness of each ballpark. It allows for individual character and statistical variances to remain in the game. Love the game and all its quirks. Like people, each one is different. Oh, Ray says, P.S. Fox News was positively, clearly disappointed there wasn't a shooter in Washington today. Oh, I think CNN was too. They want it. But it distracted us from the train disaster in Maryland. I didn't even know about that caused a 2-mile evacuation. CNN didn't even cover that. They were too busy covering a non-story. There was another train derailment, 2-mile evacuation. I keep saying, if I can see the trains come, if that were to happen here, oh my God. Oh. Okay. Is that it, guys? I think you got me there. Yeah, right. So I'm actually rooting for Donald Trump, come to think of it, to get the... wouldn't that be great if he got... he can't, but if he got the Republican nomination, they deserve him. They deserve him. They deserve the id. Because that's where they are. Okay, Julianne has sent me something about Stadia changing their name. Corporate names are plastered on so many sports stadiums that fans have to scratch hard to find a building that lacks one. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Cubs do not, right? Oh, no, the Cowboys do. They're AT&T Stadium. But they're saying the Red Sox, yeah, Fenway, Cubs. Well, no. Guys, Wrigley Field is a corporation. Wrigley, they own the biggest newspaper in the town. Wrigley Field was maybe it wasn't the same thing. Maybe he really built that stadium, Wrigley. I don't know. So maybe we do need to add Wrigley. All right. Anyone want to play with me? I'll give you the name of the stadium, and you tell me where it is. Come on, someone, get on. Come on. Hey, Ray, I know you never call. Call. We can see. 316-3381. And come on. Unbelievable. You wouldn't know where any of these places were. Everbank Field? It's pathetic. The Rogers Center? Sleep Train Arena? What? I'm not kidding. Sleep Train Arena. These are, I'm going to name baseball, football, and NBA teams. Sleep Train Arena. It exists, and it is the home of the Sacramento Kings. All right. Oh, wait a minute. So the Washington Redskins are FedEx Field, but the Nationals, the baseball team, is not. Okay, I'm going to give you another one. American Airlines Arena. Where is it? Sickening. It's just sickening. I hate this. Verizon Center. You know where it is? Qualcomm Stadium. You know where it is? Wells Fargo Center. United Center. Target Center. U.S. Airways Center. Those bums. Yeah. Unbelievable. FedEx Field, I think Gillette Stadium. Do you know where that one is? Because that's sort of a good team. Lincoln Financial Field, I ask you. Lucas Oil Stadium. This is sad. I'm sorry. First Energy Stadium. Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Well, that's a giveaway. Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Pathetic. All right. Can you tell I don't have anything to talk about? You're right. You are so right. We should maybe call it a day, huh? I did pretty good considering we didn't have anything to talk about. Unless somebody wants to call in and play the game. Huh? See, this is what I was talking yesterday about. The only thing I don't like about doing the show as a podcast is I don't have a big audience when I'm live. And so when I first started, so we don't have a lot of callers. And when I first started doing talk radio, one of the first guests I had was, oh dear God, Larry King, who told me, the one thing he did tell me, which I have taken to heart, and he was right, is he said, don't ever do the show for the callers. Don't ever get confused with the callers are important to the show, but they represent probably less than 1% of your audience. They represent more than that for me, I think, on this. But doing radio, absolutely, 1%. And so he's the one who told me, most people are never, ever, 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 ever going to call you. And that's true. And I understand that. And then some people love to call. Some people were happy they loved to call. Other people, I ain't so sure. But callers can often become part of the fabric of a program if they are, regular callers. Yeah, we have a caller. Hello.
Hi, I want to play the game.
You can't play the game. You don't know.
I don't even know what the game is. I had the show on. I got a phone call.
All right.
I had to put it on mute so I could talk for a couple of minutes.
All right.
And she said, then when I turned it back up, she said, maybe I don't have many phone calls, and maybe somebody was calling to play the game. And I said, I'm calling to play the game, and I don't even know what it is.
Well, you're going to flunk it so miserably.
Is it a sports thing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't play that game. But I do remember the first time I called you.
Well, see, I was saying callers can become part of the fabric of a show, as you have of mine over the years, and become a personality in your own right. But so when was the first time you called me, Clarence?
It was, believe it or not, it was, I started listening to you around, I want to say 89 or so, 88 or 89 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, I would just like to interview a regular person, So I called in.
You called?
I'm a regular guy.
No, that's false pretenses. I didn't know you then.
No, you didn't know me at all.
Yeah,
you had no clue who I was. I was just sitting
but
there
you're not a normal person.
And you said I would just like to, just interview some regular person. So I
a regular person. So you called. And how'd it go?
It went pretty well. I can't remember the questions you asked me, but I think the thing that made people, find me interesting was when I was talking about, it was that whole, there's no such thing as race.
Is that when you told me that? That was the first thing. There's no such thing as race.
Yeah. That was one of the, that was way
that.
early. That was way early.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made, I don't think anybody ever said that out loud. When people said it, then I went on to explain it, to become, a non-believer, just talking honestly.
Had you ever called a show before?
Any radio show?
Mm-hmm.
I used to call, I want to say it was mid-'80s to early 80s, right after I was out of art school. I used to call Whammo, but I called Whammo as a character.
What was your...
My name is Low, and I like everything low. I don't have a job, so I like my taxes low. I go to Giant Eagles for the low prices. My name is Low, and I like everything low. It was a kid, and they never knew who. But I never gave up my real name. I just called it as Low.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but I probably did it for 6 months, for some reason. Yeah, turn down the treble, turn up the bass. I like everything low. But like talk shows, I actually started listening to your talk show because I was bored with music, and music took away my focus when I was working. So I started listening to talk radio. Yeah.
And look what happened to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird because I'm comfortable with it and I'm uncomfortable with it. Being known.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm comfortable and uncomfortable. I'm comfortable when I'm talking to you on the phone. And if I'm walking down the street and they're like, "Hey, are you Clarence from Canonsburg?" I'm uncomfortable with that.
Right. Well, Clarence, that's what happens. That is what happens. Oh, wow.
And, it's interesting, too, because people say, "I used to listen to you all the time on the radio." It's the same. She doesn't have a show anymore. She does have a show. She does? Yeah, it's a lie.
I get so sick. People tell me it's hard for me to get through a day without somebody saying, "Oh, I miss you. I wish you had." And I say, I miss.
And I think, it'll slowly build up, I think. And that's
I think because the answer I always get from people, usually older, is, "Oh, I don't understand." No, they can't imagine using their computer or their phone to they just can't.
And what's interesting for me, I can't listen to the archives. I have to listen to you live.
Why is that?
Because I can't sit there and listen to something and say, "Oh, I have something to say," but I can't call in because that was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, because that
it's my
drives you nuts.
personality.
Right. I'd be like that too. Well, Clarence, you know what, and listening to me altered your life a bit.
Oh, a lot, not a bit. You're one of the butterfly effects. Yeah.
What's the butterfly effect?
Lot. Huh?
What's the butterfly effect? And then I have to tell you about something I heard.
It's chaos theory. If a butterfly flaps its wings and causes a herd, a deer to run, and then all of a sudden there's a hurricane, on the other side of the planet.
Well, listen to this. Speaking of butterflies, because I do have to tell you this. I was listening, I believe, to NPR or something. I don't know what, and they were talking about. We know that a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. And a caterpillar spins or puts itself in what is that called? A chrysalis.
Yeah.
Chrysalis. Mm-hmm. What do you think goes on to make that fuzzy little crawly thing into a butterfly in that little container? What? Seriously, have you ever thought about it?
Well, I always thought it turned to mush and basically reformed. It's like almost a rebirth. There's parts of it, I think, when it's a caterpillar that start to form, like its wings or something like that, before it makes the chrysalis. But then I thought it just basically went back to, separating cells and then became a butterfly. Am I right or wrong?
So you guys want to know an interesting fact?
I think you... Wait. I think you are very much on the right path. What, Celine?
Interesting fact about butterflies becoming themselves.
Yeah.
So some scientists wondered the exact same question, what happens?
Right.
And the conclusion that they came to, they wanted to do tests on...
You heard the same thing I did. Yeah.
Go.
Mind-blowing. First of all, yes, they cut into one that had just formed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that had just gone into and made its chrysalis. Mm-hmm. There was mush inside.
Yeah.
Goo. So you're right. It immediately sort of bzzz, and then somehow becomes a butterfly. But they did studies. They took caterpillars, right, and created in them an aversion to a certain smell. Okay? Every time they smelled that smell, they got shocked or something. I can't remember what. And then when these caterpillars went into their chrysalises and became goo and emerged as butterflies, the butterflies also had the aversion to the smell.
Now, what's interesting about this is that I didn't hear the NPR story, and I think I knew that goo stuff because I read it or I saw something on it a while ago.
Okay,
that's like part of being like a super nerd.
Yeah,
who
right, where
doesn't
you just
watch
read everything.
sports.
Right.
You know?
Well-
That's why I think I came up with that goo thing. That was like pretty close.
But they were talking about it in a religious kind of terms, in terms of people who want to believe in heaven or resurrection, and if our souls, is it possible to retain our soul, our essences, I guess, even though our form changes? And this suggests that, well, yeah, maybe. But I don't know that the butterfly has any memory of being a caterpillar.
It might. It's interesting because we start talking about DNA and cellular memory. It's the butterfly's brain would have to be somewhat intact, or some kind of neural connections for it to have any kind of memory. And that's me hypothesizing.
Yeah.
But and I don't know if they got that far yet, down to like almost a cellular level, or even 110 cells that form the brain.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. I have no clue. But to say that the fact that that's fascinating.
It is unbelievable.
And we're heading towards actually the robots takes over. It's more of a taking and not downloading our souls, but our brains onto.
Oh, I was hearing something else where they're saying now, absolutely true, that people are quite willing to have implants, put in their brain that would connect them directly to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And that in the future, people will do that. So you don't have to, everything that's available on the internet will immediately be available to your brain?
Yeah.
Why do you even have to go to school then? Why do you, and they said that you can connect to another, and this is not outlandish at all anymore. It is close to doable.
Mm-hmm.
They can implant things in your brain that give you more energy, or that make you subdue you, or all this kind of stuff. But they will be able to. I mean, so people will do that. People will do that.
And that's when you're almost heading into the Matrix. You know what I mean? When you're just laying there and the world is fake. I watched the first episode because that kind of stuff interests me, of a show on AMC called Humans. And it takes place in Britain, and they make these androids that look human. But they're programmed basically as slaves or servants or something like that. And they just, they actually have this old man actually became touched to this boy robot who was taking care of him. He's sort of like his nurse, but he's an old model, and they went to exchange him out. They didn't want to get rid of him. But they're becoming conscious. Self-aware.
Oh God!
That was like the first episode, and I said, "Oh, this is interesting. Let's see. There's all kinds of stuff going on that possible things of the future because Star Trek actually got me interested in the science stuff.
I can't even deal with Siri. I mean, I am so fucked. Hey,
I had
Claire.
to go to the internet to figure out how to turn Siri on.
Yeah.
When you were talking about it, I had to go through. I was like, "How do you turn that thing on?"
I don't want to turn her on.
And I asked it, and it gave me the Cookie Monster answer. But that's just computer geeks being funny.
Sure it is. Sure it is. It's close. So Clarence, I gotta go. But
I got you to 11 o'clock.
Well, yes, you did, and I thank you very much. And I have to go peel the parking ticket off my car. But Clarence, you did get a fan letter here. Laura writes, Clarence is wonderful. His character voice actually is very sexy.
Oh, you talking about my low voice?
Your low voice.
Well, this is my radio voice that I use all the time. My actual voice actually is a little bit higher and nerdier. But I don't use it because it's annoying. Not.
That sounds like me. No, okay, you're out of here.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay,
bye. And I've been told by more than one person that Kansas City, God bless them, does not have corporate stadia. They have Kauffman Stadium for the Royals, and that's named after the founding owner, and Arrowhead Stadium for the football team, the Chiefs. Let me tell you, Clarence wouldn't even know Heinz Field and PNC Park. I gotta tell you, this is true. Hey, I want to thank him and all of you for getting me through a show in which I had absolutely nothing to talk about. God bless you. Have a great July 3rd. Watch out for terrorists. Have a great July 4th, even though there's an orange level of alert. And if we survive, God willing, we'll talk again on Monday. Bye.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.